Yes, people, what's happening? We're back for another episode of Let the Punk Talk. As always, joined by Carl from Boxing Royalty and our very special guest, current British champion, Denzel Bentley. I want you to take me back to your amateur days. What club did you fight for?
I boxed out of Fisher, ABC in Bermondsey.
And how many amateurs did you have?
I had 17 fights as an amateur.
Did you win anything as an amateur?
No, I got to the quarters of the nationals of the under 20 novices. That's about it.
Okay, so
Yeah.
why you didn't have many amateurs? So why, after such a short amateur career, did you decide to turn over?
Um, I was a bit older, so I was like 22 at the time when I turned pro, and I felt I just wanted to get on with my life and stuff. I had a little part-time job, wasn't enjoying it. And I thought I was either I stop and start working properly, or I just turn pro and see where it goes. So I kind of turned professional because of that. And then plus I wanted to do the ABAs, and my coach, was kind of moving like he didn't know when it was, and then it was
Yeah.
gonna push you back another year. And I just thought, forget it, man. I can't wait another year. Let me just turn over now.
So obviously, I'm guessing your coach at the time, like, kind of messing you about, was a big influence as well as to turning pro.
Yeah, definitely.
So what was it like? So your transition to the pro game, like, set when you realized you had to sell tickets and like the training camp. What was it like, the transition to the amateur to the pro game?
Um, I was an amateur for mad long, so it wasn't like hard to transition. It's like I was still getting to know the game a little bit. So at the Peacock, we're in the gym all year round, so I didn't really get a gauge of camps and being at the gym for months at a time and stuff. I come back for camps, so I haven't really experienced that. I still haven't because that's not how we train.
Yeah.
In terms of selling tickets, I actually done alright with tickets, to be honest, and I was surprised. I didn't think I would, but I thought,
Mm.
"Bun it, let's just take the risk anyway." Some shows I done were better than others, of course, but
Mm.
yeah, got through it at the end of the day.
Fair. So what was the so on your debut, talk me through the whole experience of your debut fight as a professional boxer. What was the whole experience like?
It was, it was. What's what I'm looking for? I don't know. It was interesting. First time I put on 10-ounce gloves, so that was
Mm.
different. Um, now I hadn't even tried them on before that. That was the first time I'd ever put them on, so that
Mm.
was very different. I sold a lot of tickets for my debut, so I was very nervous, like just because I wanted to perform. I knew I wasn't going to be in with any world beaters or anything, but I just wanted to perform. I was like, oh man, I got to look good. I've sold a lot of
Mm.
tickets here. I really want to look good. Um, as an amateur, I wasn't really a big knockout puncher. I'd only stopped like 3 people in 17 fights, so I didn't expect to get a knockout in that
Yeah.
fight anyway. But when I did put on them 10-ounce gloves for the first time, I was like, oh, these are kind of small. And I thought, I think I'm gonna hurt someone in these.
Very nice, man. So if we just fast forward quite a bit into your career to your fight with Mark Heffron, the first one. It was your first real big fight, and it's a very, very rare sight in boxing. It was actually scored a unanimous draw, which means every single judge scored it exactly the same. And which is obviously you always see a split decision or a majority decision draw. So that was quite a rare case. So talk me through the fight. I know you were both very outspoken. You thought you clearly won it, and he thought he had clearly won it. Just talk me through your experience of that fight.
Yeah, I started off well. I started drifting in the mid rounds. It's kind of counting down the rounds too much, like trying to
Mm.
figure out how long I got left, trying to score it for myself. I still do that now, but like at the time, it was like I was overthinking it, overdoing it. So I was
Yeah.
like, oh, I knocked him down. I got 2 rounds up here, just trying to score it in my mind. And then I realized I'm letting it slip. My corner let me know I'm letting it slip away. So I stepped it up right at the end. I think he hurt me in the eighth or something. I think it was the eighth. Yeah, I think he hurt me in the eighth with a left hook. And I was like, oh shit. And I managed to get through it. And then I finished strong in the 10th. But yeah, it was a good fight, entertaining fight. I thought I won it. I still think I won it when I watch it back and stuff. But I did let a few of the middle rounds drift, or I let them go. Sorry.
Okay. So and then the second one come around, then it got made for the British. So
Yeah.
talk to me about you know, when you found that it was for the British, like what it meant to you, and then obviously talk me through the fight. We all know it got stopped in a mad his eye. You hit him with a left hook or something, and his eye just swelled up, and the doctor stopped it on that. And then just talk to me what it meant to you to become British champion.
Yeah, no, it was nice being British champion. When it got made for the British, I was happy, but I think I just wanted to beat him regardless of if it was for the British or not. That the rematch got made. I was open for the rematch before they even said what it was for. I just wanted to beat him really. So the British was a bonus. It was a bonus. I just really wanted to beat him because he was talking a lot of rubbish on Twitter and all that stuff. But it happens, isn't it?
Yeah, revenge is sweet, as they say, mate. It's very sweet.
Yeah.
After that, obviously, you stepped up again and you fought an undefeated fighter in Felix Cash. It didn't go according to plan. You got stopped in the first round. How good in your short time with Felix Cash do you think he is?
Yeah, he's good. He's good, but I didn't really get a gauge of like how good he is because obviously only went 3 rounds in it. But
Yeah,
he's a good fighter. Very heavy-handed. Fast as well. He got fast hands. That's that kind of thing as well. He has fast hands. But yeah, no, he's good. He's good.
Is he the hardest puncher you've been in with?
Well, I got to say yeah because he stopped me, but it's weird because the shot he hit me with, I didn't feel. So
Yeah,
it's just one of those things. Isn't it? You just right shot at the right time in the right place and all that stuff.
yeah, of course. How did the loss affect you? Because you hear about how losing sometimes can affect fighters in different ways. Like some of them go into a shell and they hide away and they don't want to be seen, and then some of them, just put it behind them. They're just like, it is what it is. Like how did it affect you?
The bit of both. I did want to go into a show, but then I thought I can't allow myself to. I just wanted to get straight back out there and box as soon as possible. So I was in the gym the next week, like, when can we get back out? I can't sit on that.
Yeah, of course.
But until that box, I didn't really want to see no one because everyone always talks about the last thing you done, and that was the last thing I had done at the time, and I just couldn't bother to speak about it all the time. It was getting annoying, so I was like, I don't really want to see no one at all until I actually come back. So
yeah,
it was jarring, very, 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 very jarring, but it is what it is. Isn't it? I came back, good performance against Sam Evans and stuff. He was 10-1 at the time, but yeah, people still asking about that now, but I guess I feel better about it because I've come back from that.
yeah, of course, man, of course.
Just a quick one. Sorry, Jack. Just a quick one. With that one, Denzel. How was Frank Warren afterwards? Was he fully supportive of you? Because I've heard stories with some fighters. He said to fighters, "If you lose tonight, that's it. We're done. If you win, we can continue." How was he with you?
No, I never had none of that from him. I never had none of that. If you lose, if you win, none of that. I've never had that before. Not even with the F1 fights. I'm still with him now, so it's not like we had any fallout or anything. It was just a case of rebuilding. It was just hard, I was meant to be on the Sonny Edwards card, and that got pulled. That card got pulled, so I had to wait longer, which was just frustrating. I guess it was a matter of him accommodating to all these fighters rather than just me at the time. But yeah, I'm still with him, so there weren't no fallouts or anything. There weren't none of that. Oh, if you lose, you're done. If you win, you're this and that. I've never had that conversation with him before.
Nice, man. It's good to hear. So, question I was meant to ask beforehand. Obviously, your first title fight, was for the British title.
Mm-hmm.
Was there any reason why you never went through the the area title English route and you just went straight in for the British? Did these fights ever get offered to you and they just couldn't get made? Like, what was the reason behind you just going straight for the British?
Yeah, no, me and Linus were mandatory for the Southern area. Probably like 2018, I think. He was meant to fight Taylor Jones. Taylor Jones pulled out. I straight away said, yeah, I'll fight. That card, I said I'd replace him because I think I meant to fight. It was in March, and I think I was having my debut with Frank. But it was like a week apart, and I thought I'd rather just fight for a Southern area. Their card got pulled, and then we went round to the board and tried to make us mandatory. The board mandated us. They'd obviously pulled out the president and said, yeah, we're not fighting me for the Southern area. So, and I couldn't get matched up against anyone else for the Southern area. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Of course, later on, he won the English. So there was no point of trying to go back for that. And the next thing available was the British. I guess it was because I was fighting Mark Efron, and he was probably meant to win that and be a British champion, and I was meant to be be built back on a comeback job. Yeah. Obviously, things didn't turn out like that, and I ended up winning it and ended up moving forward.
Yeah, okay, nice one. So speaking of Linus, he's actually a really good friend of mine, and I was at your fight together. First off, let me say that was an absolutely incredible fight. Like both of you should be, regardless of who won and who lost, like both of you should be incredibly proud of that performance. So I want you to tell me how that fight went in your head. When I was watching it, I'd thought Linus was picking up the early rounds, but then you come on very strong in the second half of the fight. And my end like feelings towards it was, to be honest, like from what I can remember, it could have really went either way. If they could have given it to Linus, I'd have been, yeah, I could see that. They could have given it to you, and I could have been like, yeah, I could see that. Or they could have given it a draw, and I could have been like, yeah, I could see that as well. But talk me through your whole experience of that fight.
Yeah, I felt like he started strong. He started very fast. I feel like the first round you could call it whatever. Second round, I lost that. I felt that in the fight. Third round, I thought I had. Fourth, I thought I had. I let it go in the fifth and the sixth, I think. And then from there, I think I took over. I think he might have won one of the late rounds, but I felt like he started off fast, and I thought, all right, he's putting a lot of effort into this. He's obviously, really up for this fight. Let me not be the one to gas out, because I do listen to what people say, and obviously I've heard he's had an engine and he's fit and blah blah blah. So I thought, if I gas out, I'm gonna give this guy, the energy to try and think he could take me out. So I thought, listen, I'm fit as well. I got an engine as well. I know, like in past fights, I've gassed out and stuff. That's just due to preparation and stuff. But like when I really put it in, I've got a good tank. So I knew I could do the 12 comfortably, but I didn't know how fit he was. So I didn't want to try and match his pace early. So I thought, okay, the first round I thought he come up quite fast. Let's not go with his pace. We'll fight at my pace. So I thought second round I kind of lost, and I thought I can't let him get comfortable. So that's why I thought. I felt like I came back in the third, and then I felt his pace changing slowly, getting towards the halfway mark, and then that's when I stepped up and took over the fight. That's how I felt in there.
Okay, like and obviously I know you carry very good power. I think out of your 15 wins, you've got 13 knockouts. Is that correct?
Yeah, 16 wins.
Oh, 16 wins. Okay, yeah, 16 wins and 13 knockouts. And from what I can remember, you was hitting Linus with some quite big shots, and you definitely hurt him a couple of times. But I mean, he did go down, but it didn't get called. But I mean, you couldn't like put him away. Was there ever a time in your head when you was thinking like, wow, this guy can take a good shot, man?
Oh yeah. From the beginning, I hit him with some good shots. Quite early, just not a lot at a time, because I just threw like a few single shots and I hit him, and I thought I could see in his face it hurt, and I thought, okay, he's still coming forward. But then later, when I was hitting him even cleaner, I saw he was feeling it, and which is why in my mind he started going backwards, because he got the power. So I think my power played a good part in that fight. I saw him feeling the shots when they landed, and I was like, this guy's tough, but I'm gonna still keep throwing them. Do you know what I mean? So he just kept backing up. He changed his stance on the fight. I think if he did commit more in the second half, I probably would have got him out of there. That one time in that eighth round when he was kind of committing, you saw I landed, and he went over, but obviously ref didn't see it. But I thought if he committed more like that, I would have ended up hurting him a lot more. But he started going backwards, and being at the end of my shots, you don't get the full fledged of the shot. So they were hurting or popping his head back, but not enough to take him out. But he is a tough guy. He did hold some shots, even when he was against the rope. He was taking some shots, and he just knew how to ride them, and he knew how to get away with them, and get away from them. Sorry, and he just knew how to, just survive.
Okay, fair enough, man. So tell me, what does the future hold for Denzel Bentley? Because you're now a two-time British champion. I don't know if you can talk too much about what's next for you and so on, but yeah, tell me what does the future hold? What's in the near future, and how far do you think you can go?
Yeah, I just feel that I want to take the correct steps to to get the experience I need. So when it comes to boxing for a world championship title, I'll be ready. There's no there's no corners cut. There's no stone left unturned. I've done everything. I've been in the championship fights I need to be in. So European next would be nice. After that, defend it a few times, get a few names that are fringe world level, or guys that have boxed at world level and haven't succeeded, just so I know that if I can beat them, then I'm on my way to being able to win a world title. And if I don't, then obviously it's not the end of the world. But I mean, maybe I'm not ready for a world championship yet, because these guys have been there and fell short. So the guys that have been there and fell short, I'm not saying I should, but I'd like to be in there with them and beating them. So I know that, okay, I probably can push on for a world title. But yeah, obviously that all takes time. That's not tomorrow or next week or whatever. That's all, you know, a year, 2 years down the line. That's why I'd like to be. That's the position I'd like to be in. But who knows with boxing? Boxing, sometimes you have plans and boxing has other plans for you.
Yeah, of course, man. We know how it is. So yeah, that's all from me, Denzel. But I'll now hand you over to Carl. So Carl, take the stage, mate.
First of all, Denzel, obviously, thank you again for coming on. It's a pleasure to have you, mate. Listen, I want to go back quickly to that Linus fight. Did you think going in as an away fighter for the first time in what was a big fight, that you, when it come to the end of that fight, was you thinking, I'm going to get done here? Or was you confident?
I'll be honest with you. At the end of the fight, when they said split decision, I thought, oh man, they're gonna do me. I didn't feel like it was a split decision. That's just my opinion. Obviously, everyone has their opinion. Jack obviously thought it was a draw, and obviously one of the judges thought he won. But I just didn't see how you could give him 7 rounds in that fight. So I thought, oh man, they're gonna go the other way here, innit? So I was a bit doubtful about that. But in the build up to the fight, I didn't feel no way about it. I didn't feel like, he might get a home decision or anything like that or blah blah. I just thought, well, it's 2 British fighters fighting for the British title with British officials. Like you can't go bent here. Like there's nothing to go bent over. But I didn't think I won it. I thought I won a close fight unanimously. That's how I felt at the time. So when they said split, I thought, oh, what's going on here? But at the end of the day, the right guy got the decision, and yeah, it means nothing now, innit? So it's all good.
You say that, I mean, we see a fight with Southern Area Level a few weeks back that was just disgraceful. But, mate, in my opinion, I had you winning the fight 8-4, 7-5. I think at the start of the fight, when he kept you on the end of his glove, it was hard for you coming in. And Jack was there, and we was half talking, and I said, look, Denzel, if he can't get in, Linus is going to win this fight because he was boxing so well. But once, you know, 3 rounds had gone and you started moving in, when you had him on them ropes, mate, there was 2 or 3 times that I thought you had stopped him. There was one point where you hit him right at the end. And I think if the bell hadn't have come, because you kind of stepped off, went back in and the bell come. But for what it's worth, I do think you won that fight comfortably. And something that I do remember from that fight was a man that was in your corner and he had you on his shoulders at the end of the fight. Tell us about that guy, because what a man he was.
My guy, Tom, that's Tom. Big Tom, man. He's been training with us for a long time. He's actually a stable mate. He's in the process of turning professional. There's a few complications, but he's in the process of turning professional. And when he gets his license, he'll be excited to watch also. But yeah, man, good friend of mine, man. That's a brother. He's always supported me. We was at the same amateur gym as well. So he started the year after me, and we've just been supporting me. We've been supporting each other ever since. But where I've been a professional and he ain't had his debut yet, been at every fight. He's been supporting me 100%. Like that's my brother right there, man. Big Tom.
Good man.
He was loud. You could hear him on the telly.
Yeah, 100%.
I can't remember what he was saying something. I can't remember. That's it, 2SHARP. That's it, 2SHARP. Through the fight. Every time you landed, you could see him in the corner. Because I said to Jack about it, the ring was quite low, wasn't it? So like, people were near enough at eye level. Like you could see the corners. They were like standing in the corners rather than leaning. Yeah. But we talk about your corner as well. Peacock Gym, obviously, is one of the most well-known gyms in the country. Just how good is it training down there?
Yeah, no, it's a good gym, man. Everything in that gym we do is very hard. We train very hard. As you've seen, a lot of the boys that come out of there have good engines. We train very well. We have a lot of good fights from there. Every gym has their ups and downs, but when we have our downs, it seems like we get criticised more than a lot of other gyms, which is fine. That means when we have our ups, we want to be praised a lot more than other gyms too, because you know what I'm saying, this is what it is. And I think I was very vocal about that. Like after my fight, I think because Ellis Zorro won, he boxed in a boxer competition the day after me, so that was 2 wins for the weekend. And obviously I just went out and trained. I was like, give us our praise, man, because you lot have been mentioning us for a while. But it's a good gym, man. Everyone there's has good aspirations. Everyone there trains hard. Everyone there works hard. There's no real slackers in the gym. No one's trying to get away from work or cut corners. So it's a good gym to be in, and it's a good environment to be around as well. And everyone just wants to be a champion. So it's good.
Denzel.
Go on, Jack.
Yeah, a question I was meant to ask. You actually fought throughout lockdown in front of like 0 people. I just wanted to get like your experience of that. Like, what was that like doing that?
Yeah, at first it was mad weird. It was just weird. I fought Mick Hall first. It was just odd. And I had 4 fights during lockdown, so I got mad. I got used to it like quite quickly. And then when I got back, I think my first fight back was in November in Birmingham, and there was a crowd, and I thought, oh, wow, it's kind of loud in here. Like it was just mad. It threw me off. So it was the total opposite when we got back to having a crowd. I was like, oh, this feels weird. But it's good to have crowd back, man. I wouldn't exchange a crowd for the world. But I got used to the lockdown fights quite quickly.
Of course, man. But yeah, Carl, sorry, back to you, mate.
Jack, you've actually sparred one of the fighters I know for sure that were in Peacock Gym in Louis Lynn. You said he was pretty tasty, didn't you?
Yeah, he's the hardest puncher I've ever sparred. Yeah.
What's he like training?
Are you guys the same weight?
No, I'm much lighter than Louis. I'm a super flyweight, and he's a what is he? Super feather.
Feather. He's feather. Yeah, he's feather.
Yeah, feather. Yeah.
Is he back from injury, Denzel?
He said his operation. He's been in the gym here and there, but he hasn't fully recovered yet. He should be back soon. He should be back by the end of the year. Yeah, should be back by the end of the year. Like actually boxing, not training. He should be fighting by the end of the year, I think. Louis is a beast, man. He is. He's a beast. Like, I don't think I've met anyone fitter than that guy as well. So he's got a mad engine. He hits hard for his sides. He's always in shape. Always in shape. I think he was probably like one of the only people that came back in shape after lockdown. Don't know how, but he did. Yeah, he's a beast, man. I like that guy.
Yeah, I can vouch for that. He is a beast.
So Denzel, when obviously I know obviously you like your trips back to your country Ghana. When you first won that British, you had a very special visit, didn't you? Whilst you were out there, do you want to tell us a bit more about that?
Yeah, no, it was nice, man. Got to see a lot of family, got a good reception back. My dad lived there, so there was quite a lot of people. So we just went around certain places, just showing off, my achievements and stuff. And everyone was really proud. I met Zuma Nelson, legend in the game. Gave me some good advice. Met the king of the Ashanti Kingdom. He was also giving me some good advice. But yeah, Zuma Nelson was just going back and forth. We just talking. Like we went for a dinner. Everyone was eating, me and we're just talking. Telling me loads of stories about how Brian McGregor ducked him, how we beat Jim McDonald and all of that. And I was like, oh, these are all interesting stories, giving me advice on how to train and stuff and mindsets and stuff. So it was very interesting. It was good.
And is that if someone said to you your dream venue, would you love to go out there and have a world title fight in Ghana?
Yeah. I'd love to go out there and have a world title fight in Ghana. Yeah, 100%. I don't know if you've seen any videos of Isaac Dubbo boxing out there. It is mad loud. Like it's just the energy there is crazy. But yeah, 100%. I'd love to at some point. You got to do Vegas and all them places there because that's like the mecca of boxing. But 100% Ghana, definitely.
So if you've won the European, you've defended it 5 times. Frank Warren sits you down and he says, Denzel, I've got you a shot at a vacant title. Tell me where you want it to be. Where are you picking?
That's a good question. I don't know. Depends how much we can sell at the time, how big we are.
Big.
You know what I mean, it depends.
You're any size level. It doesn't matter. You're going to sell the tickets. You're going to make millions of pounds. Pick the venue.
And anywhere I go, I make the same money.
Yeah, anywhere you go.
Yeah, I think I gotta go Ghana, man. I think I gotta go Ghana, man. Because I've said it a few times when I'm there. It's just like I don't know, man. I just think energy's crazy over there. When I was out there with Isaac, he showed me a few videos on his phone of some of the fights he had out there, and the energy was crazy. Like nothing like. Then again, Wembley, when I went to Fury White in Wembley, and the energy there was nuts as well. So I can't. Yeah, I think either Wembley or that Ghana.
You go back to. I always look back now. I know he lost AJ's ring walk against Usyk. I watched it yesterday. That ring walk at Tottenham Stadium was just. When he stood on the pyrotechnics and he had no easy way out playing. That just. I know. I'm a big fan, and most boxers I speak to can't stand him, but that for me would just send goosebumps down my neck.
Yeah, but that's what it was like the Fury White Club when they stood on that little thing and then I think Fury sat on the throne and I was like, this is crazy. Like I think, and then he got up and started running to the ring. I said, nah, this is nuts. I need to be here one day as well. So Wembley is definitely a spot for me. But yeah, AJ ring walks have been pretty good as well. I'm an AJ fan as well, but yeah, people change who they prefer, innit? Like boxers, not like football where you're just loyal to one team or one person kind of thing. You switch who your favorite fighter is every day. So
No, he's definitely in my top 5. And mate, we talk about Ghana and boxing. There's a fair few boxers now fighting in Britain. You know, you've got yourself, you've got Bouatsi, isn't Echo Esserman as well, isn't he from Ghana?
yeah, he is. Yeah,
It's mad, isn't it? You know, imagine a card over there, you and Bouatsi. Do you talk to Josh Bouatsi?
yeah. I do. Yeah,
What do you think of his fight the other week?
I think it was a good fight. I think it was a very good fight, and those are the type of fights you get when you put domestic guys together. You're both hungry. You're both trying to get to a certain position. So when you put two domestic fighters together, you get a really good fight 9 times out of 10. Because especially where like, you know, every country has their set ways of fighting, like their styles. So it's like you're not fighting a Russian with a Russian style. You're not fighting a Mexican with a Mexican. Fighting a Brit with a British style, like probably similar to you. So you're gonna clash. You're gonna be in for a good fight. Like, and plus you're both hungry, trying to get out of the domestic scene to get to world level and that, get to the world scene or whatever. So you're gonna have a good fight. So back to back weeks, you had me and Linus, and you had Josh and Craig. And both of them were good fights. Both of them were very good fights. And I think we need more of those fights. Of course, people want to be get paid well for it, but let's just get more champions and then make these fights with other Brits. And I also think the domestic route is harder than this international route everyone keeps taking nowadays, and keeps getting that obviously respect to everyone for, you know, doing their part, but everyone keeps getting praised for going these routes, saying, "Oh, the next best thing," and really and truly they haven't fought anybody.
I make this point quite a lot, especially when we talk about Conor Ben. But yeah,
I ain't throwing no names out there, but I definitely hear what you're saying.
Talking of Conor Ben, Denzel, how do you rate him as highly? I mean, I'm a huge fan of Conor Ben. I think for what he's doing, I think he's doing well. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I think at one point you could say he was the most improved fighter in the country. Now he's just at that level now where you can't call him most improved no more. He's fighting, you know, competitive fights. He's a challenger. Because when he started out, I didn't think he'd get this far, but he's very explosive. He can obviously hit, but just like everyone else, I'd like to see him in some more competitive fights, to be honest, and then I can really judge him. But so far, he's doing well, like you said. But yeah,
Needs to step up. I think that's pretty much what you say, Jack, isn't it? Without you going on one of your rants, you agree that he's doing well, but he needs to step it up now.
Yeah, 100%, mate, 100%.
All right, cool. And mate, I agree. In terms of your domestic level fights, I've spent a lot of time at York Hall in the last sort of year and a half since I've been doing what I do, and I see some of the fights. You know, like even Jack's fight with Paul in March, just incredible. And then you watch some of these world title fights. But mate, Jack's got a fight in July, and I spoke to you the other day, and you said that you'd seen that it was a draw. I don't know if you've seen the fight, but Jack was cut in the second round horrendously, or what looked horrendously, but wasn't really that bad. What was it, Jack? You had three cuts, wasn't it?
3 cuts, like one there, and then one on the back of my head.
But we was all sat at the top of York Hall, and I was with. He'd done about 100 tickets, but there was about 30 of us stood at the top. And after the second round, he sat down and the cutsman jumped in the ring, and my heart's just gone bang. And I spoke to his mate Ryan. He said he's cut. And Jack, just explain. Obviously, Denzel, I don't think you've actually been cut quite badly, have you, Denzel, as of yet? Touch wood.
No, I haven't.
So, Jack, just explain how it was for them 9 rounds in your biggest fight.
Yeah, it's a weird experience, man. Like it's basically like, you know how you see in the movies, like when one eye goes all like red and all that, and like they can only see out one. That was what it was like. Like kept going in my eye was going blurry. I had to keep obviously dabbing my eye, and it shows him like, oh, like he's having trouble with that. He's having trouble with that.
Of course.
And then when I went back into my corner, my coach was like, I don't want to see you fucking dab your eye one more time. And then I was like, I was going like this and then like wiping the blood, trying to be as discreet as possible. And like, mate, it was just so crazy. I was literally fighting with one eye the whole fight, and it was an absolute like, you know, war. Like we were just throwing hell for leather. And like, I would like to think the fight would have probably went a lot different if I weren't cut. But you know, no excuses. It is what it is. It's a fight. It could have happened to him, but unfortunately, it just happened to me on the night.
You know, definitely.
So any advice then, obviously, as a man like yourself, you stepped up for that British and you got it pretty much. Well, you did get it as soon as you got your chance. Jack's the only ever super flyweight to fight for the Southern Area title. It's been fought for three
for real?
times or 2 times, Jack.
Yeah,
That's
twice.
mad.
Yeah.
You're with Southern Area royalty here, Denzel. Wow.
That's a history lesson now. As I'm saying, I'm learning some history now.
Yeah.
But any advice for a man that wants, I've been in the gym, he's a completely different animal. Any advice that you can give to Jack to go out there and do the business come July?
Yeah, just be yourself. Who you got? The same guy you got the draw to?
Yeah, same guy.
Yeah, just be yourself, man. Be yourself. Do what you're doing. If you can get a draw with all those disadvantages, not being able to see properly, blood coming from the back of your head and that, which I'm sure probably makes you a bit drowsy and stuff. You just got to do what you've done as well, but minus the cuts. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you're not worried about dabbing your eyes and all that stuff, you're in there. You'll be able to do it. I can't really give advice on the cuts. I ain't been cut like that before. But yeah, just be you, man. It sounds like you dug deep for 9 rounds and stuck in there and still managed to pull off the draw. So you can just avoid the cuts this time and get in there, everything off the jab and get to work. Listen, you're Southern Area champion.
Thank you, man.
I personally believe he still won that fight, but let's not go there because I have arguments with people daily over that. There was a guy went there on the night. I'm not going to mention names. He was going out. He come up to us, Denzel, and we was all, like I said, at the top. I was like, "Cole, how have you got it, mate?" I said, "Oh, I've got Jack up by 2. Oh, I've got him down by 6. I said, "Well, you better fucking move on then and sit somewhere else." That's it from me, Jack, mate. I could sit here for hours with you, Denzel, but it's late on a Sunday.
It's sweet. Yeah. Denzel, is there anyone you want to thank? Anyone you want to shout out to at the end of the video?
Yeah, man. No, just like I said, shout out Big Tom. That's my guy. Shout out to all my team, everyone at the Peacock Gym, coaches, everyone, and other sponsors that's been supporting me. Ringside Advance. A lot of other people say that's why I didn't want to say sponsors because it's a lot going on. But just thank you to everyone that they know who they are, man.
Sweet, nice one, mate. Yeah, Denzel, thank you for joining us. It's been a pleasure, man. And yes, people, so tune in for next week and we'll have another episode for you of Let the Punk Talk. Peace.